We decided to visit a few other beekeepers which Laszlo spoke highly of, so they could impart some of their guru-type knowledge on us.
You know, you wouldn't believe, huh? You're going to see in one of the slides, Mr. Marshall, I said that I used to have my bees in the country. Oh, yeah. I remember I just tell you about moringa field? Look before the moringa field.
Okay.
Right. And actually my bees, some of my bees used to be here. The young fella used to take care of it in this area right here.
The first one we were introduced to is Andy Paul. Andy is an avid beekeeper that has been involved in beekeeping for years.
This is the queen right here. Trying to get away from my house. Yep, she would try to get into a little hole where she can run and hide. So what you need to do in order to rear queens is that you have to manipulate your hive to want to make queens. If your queens, depending on what method you're using, if your hive has a queen, you really wouldn't want to make a queen, right? So sometimes about 4 days before, I remove about 5 days before I remove the queen, and sometimes I remove some of the combs and I put combs into the hive with larvae that's just about to emerge, right? I showed you some of what the larvae look like, and that is because you want a very high population of nurse bees in there, right? The worker bees are in actually two categories. You have field bees and you have house bees. The house bees are the younger bees. When they reach a certain age, they become field bees, and that's when they go out and get their food.
Next, we meet Jesse, a young beekeeper that told us how he got involved in beekeeping.
Well, I got motivated through a course that I did at conference, with one of my friends. He got the opportunity to teach a course, and I was lucky enough to go along with him in the bush, behind bees, until before he got to teach a course. So I had an advantage over the other students. And from that, I found I could get my own hive. And I asked him, and he told me, well, bring a box. But he didn't want to really give me a hive. He wanted me to get a hive on my own. If he give me one that I have now.
Okay.
So he gave me a hive. He tell me, well, look at go on how to get it out in the wild. And I start taking it out, and some die, some survive, until I keep splitting. I didn't give it up until I reach up today. I have a few hives, And basically, so far, I wish that more Grenadians could invest into beekeeping, because we have the best honey in the world, right? We have the best honey, and also we have a nice country where you can do beekeeping without having any bundle of pests, Apart from working, I'm self-employed, and I can come any day. I don't have to take care of them like I tie out a sheep. While they're working, I could be doing something else. So it's like a side by like a panqua, Yeah.
And life lessons. Have you learned any life lessons from working with bees?
Well, it helped me to be patient. It help you build up patience, wait, and help you, just a form of meditation, keep you in contact with nature. It kind of help you to think a lot, use your brain, use the capacity of your mind, think a lot. Because sometimes when you go, you don't have a book reading to see, okay, how these bees supposed to get treated. You have to think, remember what you learned, and put it into action. And it's a hands-on job. Not that if you're doing beekeeping, how I will do it, if I send you in my hive, you may not be able to do it the way how I do it. I'm the last generation in my whole family from way back that doing beekeeping, because my family line have beekeepers, and I'm the youngest and the last one right now doing it.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah.
And then after lunch, we'll at least go and see the mountain, help you to frame in your mind, and then on Sunday we'll come and do the pictures.
Great.
Right?
Lovely.
On our way to the last beekeeper, we became hungry and stopped in the town of Grenville for lunch. After lunch, we met up with Belton Roberts. He is one of the most knowledgeable beekeepers on the island. He also teaches the skill at T.A. Marishaw Community College.
Okay. The bees do the harvesting really. They're just kind of beekeepers.
Yeah.
In the sense of that bees have wings and you cannot tie them like a sheep.
Yeah.
So to order to be a beekeeper, you have to know how to keep them to make them stay because they're free to go. So if you can keep them, you're doing very good.
Belton understands the importance of teaching others to carry on the tradition of beekeeping. Without bees, 80% of our flowering crops, which constitute a third of everything we eat, would perish. Belton went on to show us the ingenuity behind his homemade pollen trap.
This is the high body. You see that? The high body with the frames and everything in it. And this is the pollen trap. The box fits exactly on the trap. So the bees, to enter the box, the bees have to go in here, okay, and go up through here. And this is the pollen extractor here.
Okay.
This screen, okay. This screen, you couldn't get this screen at the hardware store. I tried already. You have to order this screen from a bee supplier. The exact size. When the bees come through this little hole here, the hole is just big enough to let the bee in, but the pollen's on the leg, it would fall back on this screen and then fall into this basket. This screen here so the bees won't go back after it again. You can't go through this one. So the pollen go through here and fall in this basket there. And all I have to do in the evening is pull this basket out and empty it and push it back. See? So that's simple. This is the only working part. These holes here is for the drones. The drones too big to go through here. So we give them 2 drone escapes so they could go out.
I understand that you are Grenada's professional beekeeper. How long have you been in beekeeping?
Oh well, yeah, I'm professional, yes, but you have fellows that does more than me. Due to the time when you are beekeeping, you need a lot of time to spend with the bees.